Unleashed Hollywood News. Scout Willis, daughter of Demi Moore and Bruce Willis, is shedding light on her family's unique dynamic, and there's no bad blood to be found when it comes to her former stepfather Ashton Kutcher. The 33-year-old recently opened up in an interview with Entertainment Tonight, revealing that despite the complicated nature of blended families, her upbringing was rooted in grace and mutual respect. Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher were married from 2005 until 2013, following Demi's early 2000s divorce from Bruce Willis. Yet, despite the public attention on their relationships, the family has remained remarkably grounded. "That's not the way I hold it, my mom holds it," Scout said when asked about Ashton. "Since my parents divorced when I was young, it's always been handled with absolute grace and love." Scout went on to emphasize the importance of prioritizing children in the midst of life transitions. "I think that really is the way forward for everything, just putting the children first and handling everything with a lot of mutual respect," she added. Her statement resonates with those of her younger sister, Tallulah Willis, who also spoke out recently about her experience growing up in a blended family. On April 8, Tallulah shared a thoughtful post on Instagram after listening to Gwyneth Paltrow and Brad Falchuk discuss their own approach to merging families on a recent episode of the Goop podcast. "I have a lot to say on this, especially how to move through an ex-step-parent," Tallulah wrote. "It's an important conversation TBH. She continued by saying, "No one needs to be the bad guy for a situation to be healed. There's room for everyone." The message was simple but powerful. Healing doesn't always need a villain. It just needs empathy, conversation, and a willingness to understand different experiences. The Willis family dynamic may be unconventional by Hollywood standards, but it's one that appears to be built on understanding. Tallulah, 31, also shares a close bond with her older sisters Scout and Rumor Willis, 36. She is just as connected to her younger half-sisters, Mabel and Evelyn, whom Bruce shares with wife Emma Hemming Willis, whom he married in 2009. Just 2 days after her initial post, Tallulah followed up with more insight on Instagram. She expanded her thoughts about what it means to watch a step-parent become an ex-step-parent, and the emotional complexity that often comes with that experience. "I have a lot to say on the journey of being the child and having a step-parent become an ex-step-parent and there not be a lot of tools or conversations available during that process," she wrote on April 10. She was quick to clarify her intent, adding, "Nothing cagey here, just think it's an important thing to open up dialogue about." While Ashton Kutcher has not responded directly to either Scout or Tallulah's comments, he has previously spoken warmly about his bond with Demi's daughters from her marriage to Bruce Willis. In a 2020 appearance on the WTF with Marc Maron podcast, Ashton said, "I make a really conscious effort to stay in touch with the girls. I love them and I'm never going to stop loving them, right? And respecting them and honoring them and rooting for them." Kutcher, now married to Mila Kunis, shares 2 children with her. Wyatt, born in 2014, and Dimitri, born in 2016. But despite moving forward with his own family life, he has never turned his back on the relationships he built during his marriage to Demi Moore. For many, the idea of maintaining such a strong connection with stepchildren after a divorce may seem uncommon. But in the case of the Willis-Moore-Kutcher family, it's become a central theme. Love doesn't have to end just because a marriage does. The commitment to mutual respect across all relationships in the family has helped create a rare example in Hollywood. One where exes, stepparents, and children all manage to coexist and support one another without resentment or animosity. The messages shared by both Scout and Tallulah reflect a family philosophy rooted in emotional maturity and understanding. It's clear that they were raised in an environment where communication and empathy were key, and that's something they continue to carry forward into adulthood. Rather than distance themselves from difficult topics, the Willis sisters are leaning into conversations about healing, family evolution, and the role of stepparents, past and present. And in doing so, they're helping destigmatize the often overlooked complexities of blended families. Their openness isn't just refreshing, it's powerful. These are the kinds of stories that often get overshadowed in Hollywood by scandal and rivalry. But here we see a different narrative. One of cooperation, of people choosing kindness, and of creating space for everyone to belong, no matter how the family tree may shift over time. As Tallulah wisely said, "There's room for everyone." And that message, simple as it is, might be exactly what many people need to hear.